This is the SANAT KUMARA. Welcome to the 37th lecture of this year at Namas University, Earth's spiritual digital university, the place and community that grows you into fully soul-guided and Shambhala-assisted human beings able to create their life and the future of Earth according to the up-to-date divine plan together with all other beings. This is my last regular online lecture that Martina and I will hold together. The reason for this is extremely gratifying. More about that in a moment. We also want to tell you how we have been doing together so far and what we have planned for the near future. I walked into Martina between January and February 2022. It takes 4 to 6 weeks for the soul of origin to withdraw and for a master teacher, a deva being, or myself to enter. 85% of Martina's soul has made room for me. Before that, we were already working together through overshadowing and channeling on the Chronicles of SANAT KUMARA. When I walked into Martina, the podcast time began. Martina had to learn podcasting from scratch. How do podcasts work? What does it take technically? How do you record a podcast? How do you upload voice and image files to the different user apps and platforms? The most interesting part for both of us was and is how we create content and new teachings together. Martina had to develop complete trust in me, and I had to get used to her library of mind and her body. All this was preparation for Namas University, which we launched just 9 months ago. In the meantime, we have developed into a great team that can trust each other blindly. We know our preferences, needs, and idiosyncrasies. People appreciate our podcast work and also that of the master teachers together with Katharina Adari. To date, the podcast episode have been listened to more than 130,000 times and continue to spread around the world every day. Through podcasts and books, aspects of like-minded souls come together daily and realize their personal and planetary mission. All are here to help Earth, humanity, and all life to make the leap from the third through the fourth dimension. Alla and Igor Revenko in Canada have also been part of my team for almost a year. They are translating my Chronicles, the Invocations, and the AMAYA Mysteries into Russian, together with a team scattered around the world. In addition, they started the Russian language study group, which now includes people spread over 14 time zones. Alla was overshadowed by me to speak the podcast lectures in Russian and publish them with the help of Igor. But that was just the beginning. On November 1st, 2023, Martina is handing over the podcast lecture service for you into the hands of Alla. I walked into Alla this summer. In future, Alla will be responsible for the podcast content together with me. Igor translates it into English, overshadowed by me. From November onwards, the English language lectures will be spoken by Joelle Cameron Pennington in the United States. With me overshadowing her, Stephanie Bean will translate the lectures into German and voice records them for the German-speaking students. This is a welcome step, coming sooner than expected. It is made possible by Allah's leaps of consciousness, her unwavering sense of service to the community, and the support of Igor. We thank you. I also thank the master teachers who have used their time as guests on the SANAT KUMARA podcast to make plans for the future. Starting in 2024, you, dear students, will also find a podcast of the master teachers at Namas University. Details will be announced by the master teachers themselves. With the change in responsibility of my podcast, we will also introduce a uniform music for me in all languages. More specifically, light language, with which I will address you at the beginning and leave you until the next week at the end of each lecture. Light language is direct communication from soul to soul. The words are carried by the intention to lead the earth into a new golden age. It comes to you on the frequency, rise to new Atlantis and lead in joy. Katharina Adari, the primary voice of Mother Mary in the world, sings my light language message to you. Martina is now given further tasks together with Rohan Sevani. Martina can conceive and visualize new organizations and ways of doing things. She's able to build them up from scratch and lovingly pass on responsibility in a constantly growing team. This enables us to involve more and more people who are incarnated for these tasks. It also enables Martina and me, together with Lord Maitreya and Rohan Sevani, to take the next steps in the development of Namas University in Europe and India. Martina is my primary voice worldwide. I will continue to write and illustrate my chronicles and further books through her, as well as paint portals as a gateway to me for you, dear students. Make good use of what I and my fellow Master and Deva teachers offer to you. The faster we succeed, the faster all live in the new golden age, the rising new Atlantis, as Lord Maitreya explains it together with Rohan in his new book, The Reemergance of Atlantis. As of January 2024, Lord Maitreya, through Rohan Sevani, his primary voice in the world, and I through Martina will speak to you live online once a month. When and how exactly we will announce in time. In addition, we are also planning a first meeting of Shambhala beings, co-teachers and Namas University students in Aachen, Germany in summer next year. Furthermore, the master teachers and I have commissioned Martina, together with competent support, to establish and grow a foundation in Aachen that will allow us to host events for Namas University in connection with the cosmic communication system. We are also striving for a permanent presence in Aachen near the cathedral, a contact point for the spiritual seekers and ambassadors of light visiting the octagon for cosmic communication. Foundation, events and permanent presence mean loads of extra work and require the support of experienced experts. Until the end of this month, I will be nudging some of you across Europe to get involved. I will let you know what specific contribution you can make. You decide whether you accept my nudge, my specific request, and get in touch with Martina. Starting next year, Martina and I will be traveling the world together. There are new team members we need to meet for specific projects and live speaking engagements in front of larger audiences related to my teachings. We will announce countries, places, and dates via the podcast. More help is welcome to build further teams to translate our teaching material into other languages in a competent and reliable manner. All co-teachers write and speak either in their mother language and/or in English. As English is the world language and will continue to grow as the language of the digital world, we reach most people that way. Of course, we are working on translations into all 12 of the languages we intend to cover. We strive to do so as quickly as possible. For that, skilled teams of translators and proofreaders, each specializing either in the master teachers around Lord Maitreya, the two Deva leaders, Wise One and Berthold, or me, the SANAT KUMARA, are welcome. Guiding all of this means more work for Rohan and Martina. Be patient with us, dear students. If everything you want to read and hear is not available immediately in your mother tongue. Use your energy to help your fellow human beings. Tell them about Namas University. Invite them to get to know us, trusting their own abilities and intuition. With the open, selfless hearts of many, we can move mountains. I hope I have inspired you to continue to follow us and invite many others to do the same. Now I'll give the floor to Martina. I think you will be interested to know how she experiences working with me and what else there is to expect from both of us. Thank you, beloved SANAT KUMARA, and a warm-hearted welcome from me to all of you, wherever you are listening now. I could go on for hours about working with the SANAT KUMARA. Those who have already met me in person know that in such personal moments I freely share the process of working, learning and growing with the SANAT KUMARA. Here I would like to focus on just a few insights that can be useful for your own development. The SANAT KUMARA's behavior towards me is loving, kind, caring, humorous, and constantly challenging. He asks for a small thing, and before I know it, it has become a major project for decades. My first and most important lesson in working with him was, no matter what skills I bring into this incarnation, they are not sufficient to master my personal learning task and my planetary contribution. In order to evolve, I have to leave my comfort zones over and over again. There's no end to it. And we need not be surprised. Our universe is composed of frequencies, vibrations, and energies that are constantly changing. Nothing is permanent. Certainly not if you want to consciously develop further. Seeking stability in material things, proven skills or relationships holds us back. Clinging to something that seems to offer stability is hindering and painful. The tension I experience is between what I can already do excellently and the fearful exclamation, anything but that. The SANAT KUMARA told you how he pushed me into podcasting. Humorous as he is, he doesn't even count certain learning assignments as stepping out of my comfort zone. Weeks ago, he told me that I have to learn Hindi now. How do I manage all of this, you may ask? I have reduced everything material in my life to what I really need and replaced my own desires and expectations with co-creation. I'm not yet great in it, but I'm succeeding better every day. Just think about it for a moment. How much time of your day you spend thinking about, caring for, and managing material possessions? There might be better use for that. Besides the work with the SANAT KUMARA, which is obvious to you, I participate in various projects of worldwide energy work. As this is my first incarnation on Earth, my body and my Merkaba go through different adjustments for these projects regularly. It often requires absolute discipline to manage the regular tasks, like this podcast, despite spiritual mental exhaustion and physical fatigue. On the other hand, energetically heavy and dangerous work is always rewarding. It comes with wonderful insights and encounters with other beings in other dimensions and places. This keeps my library of mind constantly growing. But I have no idea where this will lead me. Could I imagine what the collaboration with the SANAT KUMARA would be like and how it would develop? No. I guessed that the SANAT KUMARA, master teachers, beings of the Deva world and off-Earth allies would have constant requests. I knew that this meant work all the time. Unimaginable for me, however, were the consciousness expanding gifts and experiences. For example, together with 2 colleagues, I was able to experience what it means to work together in group consciousness in an energy project. Each of us had access to the consciousness of the others. That is a space of total understanding and support. Just imagine for a moment we would all live in group consciousness on Earth and what that would mean. Wouldn't that be a great gift? Since the SANAT KUMARA took over, I also learned how important it is to carry out tasks detached from my own desires and interests. To learn this, I established a regular process of self-reflection in which I always take an honest look at myself before executing tasks. With all the small and big projects, I also had to learn to distance myself. In order to be able to work creatively on the content of the SANAT KUMARA's new teachings and their visual representation, I have to be able to withdraw completely. I will report on this focused holistic writing and painting process to the registered readers of the Chronicles in the next letter of secrets. In the beginning, it was difficult for me to separate myself from the demands and noise around me. This is not how I was brought up by my mother. The SANAT KUMARA helped me to say no when focused work is needed, not to answer emails and the like. Even Lord Maitreya recently gave me a day's rest after a special shift for him. That was a learning curve of its own. My thanks today go to Katharina and the Master Teachers. Because you are taking over the October lectures, I can finish Volume 3 of the Chronicles of SANAT KUMARA and probably publish it in German at the end of October and in English shortly before Christmas. Allah, my thanks to you and Igor, as well as to Stephanie and Joelle Cameron as the new podcast team. I know you'll be doing a great job. I also thank the Russian language translation team of the SANAT KUMARA's books. I hope Hindi, Spanish and French will be added as languages soon. I hope that these insights into my work with the SANAT KUMARA and Master Teachers will help you when the time comes for you. I look forward to meeting many of you in person in the future around the world and here in Aachen. To you, SANAT KUMARA, I thank you for your trust, your care, and your humor. I thank the master teachers and the growing teamwork with them and their co-teachers and the Deva of humanity, all Deva beings, for the new togetherness. I thank all colleagues at Namas University and the Cosmic Communication System for working together in one frequency family. To you, dear students, I thank you for listening. You are now in the best hands with Allah. See and hear you soon live, or follow me via the Letter of Secrets for all readers of the Chronicles. All my love and best wishes to you. Now, back to you, boss. Thank you, beloved Martina. My beloved students, you'll hear me again in November for the 43rd lecture of this year at Namas University. Then spoken by Allah, Stephanie, and Joelle Cameron, introduced by light language, sung by Katarina. Until then, love and blessings to you all. This was the SANAT KUMARA.